Hi everyone, I hope this time it's okay. I had several sound issues with the mic before recording, as I always double check if it works, so I really hope this time it will work. So hello, bonjour. For those who don't know my channel, welcome to Greg's Whiskey Guide, a guy in France passionate about whiskey since more than 20 years and passionate in blending since around year 2005, and then helped for that by people I met in the industry, such as John Glaser, who is my mentor in blending. I had to say it again and thank him for what he wrote me on my website about my passion for whiskey, and this is really a nice forward. I recommend you to read if you have time in my whiskey, in my references whiskey resume page on the upper menu. Right, and also, while I cannot show you the letter, he seems to be very happy with the my new own creation, professional one that I just made. Okay, sorry to mention that again if you're not interested. For today I'm proposing you something different. I might have done it a little bit, but not that way before. A few days ago, to explain things a bit, I did improvise, as I often do, a home blend, and a home blended malt this time, because there's no grain involved. The way I work is, there are different ways. The first way is I had something in mind, very precise or more or less precise, and I will start to work with those sheets, and usually there's 1 page or 2 pages, and it can go up to 30-40 whiskies, different whiskies to put together and work on it on a long time basis. This is not the case here. This is the second thing, that's the more improvised, more relaxed way of working home blends. That's also why I want to share it with you, because it's easier and there are less whiskies involved, and this thing will not be, I think, put into the market unless someone steals the idea, of course. But yeah, something I worked a bit on it, and I was happy with the results, some of the results, and I kept among the let's say big 4 proposals, different recipes with some variants of quantities. So if I had to count how many, in fact, is way more than 4. It's probably 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different recipes. But among those, I kept 3 versions of it that I put into samples, and I'm gonna tell you about this, and I will give you away even the recipes of those 3. Why? Because I thought it was fun, and it's in fact the real 3rd anniversary of the channel. I mistake last year calling it a 3 years. If I wanted things to be really historical, I would say it's 5 years, but it's not 5 years creating videos about whiskey. So it used to be, before Greg's Whiskey Guide name, it used to be something with more compilation of videos content, and selecting videos about whiskey, music, fine arts, etc. But due to some demand of my audience on the website, and also because I was curious about it, even if I was really scared at the beginning, I started my videos in something like March or May, I think it's March 2019, So I think it's now time to celebrate the 3rd anniversary, and I will give you away those recipes, and the one you prefer most, maybe some of you will get a sample of it. We'll see how it works. So I'm recording this, and I will disclose in the description not the recipes, but you will hear them anyway. But I will disclose the whiskies and the exact batch I used for it, so you can recreate it. And the idea is getting live or in a premiere. I'm not sure about the correct formula. I think it would be first a premiere, and if there's an interest for it, maybe we'll go live later on. But anyway, the idea is to give away the names of the whiskies now, to give you maybe a week or several days to figure out if you can recreate this blended malt or something similar. So that's why I will give you two different options, two different whiskies if you don't have some of those there. And I will propose you to give me your feedback. Have you tried to do this blended malt yourself? What do you think of the result you have? What do you think of my recipes? And was it difficult to do, etc.? So it's a kind of interactive thing. And on a premiere, I think I will be able to comment with you what I'm doing, and also to interact with you to see what did you bring yourself and what you think of the idea. Right. Okay, I'm not gonna want to be too long on this, and don't want to be also sipping too many whiskies in this video, so that's why I'm not gonna try all the 4 which are the basis of my blended malt. I'm not gonna try the 4, but I'm gonna show you right away a whiskey which I already did review, but which did, as you can see, improve quite a lot since the review I made, so I increased the rating. What is this which goes along with this box? Very nice box as usual, one of the most beautiful packaging, by the way, of the Scotch whisky industry. Not sure it focuses as I wanted. Anyway, I will tell you what it is. The idea I had, because I enjoy this whiskey a lot, was to create a blended malt for once showcasing this whiskey more than the others, so letting it overpower the others. But of course there's a trick in this, not overpower, but be the key malt of this blended malt. And so the idea was to have a very not heavily peated blended malt, but significantly peated blended malt. So usually when you create a blended whiskey, and even some blended malts in which you want a peated component but not more than that, not to dominate, you don't work like I did. Usually, as many master blenders tell me, you have not to go over 5% of the final result as the peated component, and even more, of course, if it's heavily peated. Now, some consider this to be heavily peated. It's 40 ppm, something like that. Low rate of peat will be 12, 5, of course, 5, 10, the 2 to 5 even for some, the Bruichladdich and Bunnahabhain, which are not officially peated, or 25, and so I give you the numbers in other videos about all the main Islay whiskies, by the way, in the peat level before after malting, which is often the one that is done, given. It's not, sorry to repeat myself for those who've seen it, the amount of peat they give you on the labels, on the advertising, marketing, etc., is most of the time the amount of peat that is measured after malting, and not after mashing, fermenting, and distilling and maturation. and often you have to devise, you have to take this number and divide it by 3 2 or 3. So you see ppms or something, but at the end of the day it's what you taste in your glass that counts, and not what they say there is in there. Right, so this one I am not 100% sure. I tried, but I struggle to get information. I believe this one, this Islay single malt, was done for the French market or for French and German market. I struggle to have the information, and even more, this one I cannot find it at retailers, so it seems to be a supermarket reference. So I'm very sorry if you cannot find this whiskey to create the blend like I proposed you to do along with me, but I will give you 2 alternatives to do something similar that of course will not be the same, but by doing so, giving you alternatives, I hope you won't be too much frustrated. So the thing now I'm gonna do is just try this one with you and then show you the other bottles, and then give you my recipes for the 3 results which I'm gonna try, and give you my overall impressions. It's not scientific at all, it's just my point of view, it's just my ideas, but I wanted to share them with you because I like a lot this whiskey, and I'm gonna try it with you now. I'm gonna put a link to the video about this one, but today I'm gonna give you bit different notes of how it developed, right, since the video, which was probably 6 months ago. And yeah, I had to buy another bottle because it's not the same batch, unfortunately, but I hope it will be as good. I'm topping today again with whiskey shared Toby and also New Drum Drinker coins. So there you have this beautiful and all natural color. Yeah, by the way, all the whiskies on the table are unchill filtered, which is great. 2 of them are probably colored with E150A, but I'm not 100% sure. This one though, and the last one are not. Okay. Why I did this, my main component for the 3 recipes on the table, because I love it, because I think though it's 40% ppm peat level, it still has some beautiful sweetness, it has some beautiful roundness, there's some nice esters coming on, giving some exotic fruit, citrus fruit, something very smooth and gentle behind the peat blasts, moderate blast, let's say, and also this maritime but not medicinal profile. So this works with this distillery, but for example this won't work, I believe, with the Freud, and this probably won't work the same way with Bruichladdich Port Charlotte, I think. That is why I don't use or KILCHOMAN heavily peated stuff like that. That's one, or BenRiach heavily peated. That's why I'm very specific on this one. But I will give you, after the short review, a replacement option. Right, forgot to say before that, what you need for this work, you need 4 glasses. I forgot to put it on the table, but you need a measuring glass that I have. You need a bigger glass to put all the things in there, but something with narrow ending enough to be able to put it into your samples. Of course, more or less small fennel, some small measuring tool, things for the kitchen, nothing super professional. I use this, by the way. There are 3 different things there for bigger blends, creations. I of course then I measure with a refractometer or another tool to measure the ABV. For this recipe you don't need, because it's all 46% ABV, which I probably forgot to say. Right, okay. Now on to the KILCHOMAN LOCH GRUINART. Beautiful esters, beautiful a mix of pineapple, mango, guava, a little pear as well. Yeah, a mix of all this, and gentle smoke wrapping it, a bit ashy, but not super dry, not really dry in fact. This is a beautiful nose on the palate now. Ah, this is fantastic. This is coming across really serene, very well melted, floral elements, fruity elements, gently maritime elements, gentle smoke. I mean, at the beginning it was a bit feeling young, with some Hessian notes, some quite rough around the edges notes, and gently it started to slowly get more civilized and really come here as something really well crafted. The age, it's a no-age statement. I have not the information. My guess is something from it's a batch from 4 to 6 or 7, maybe 8 years old. I don't think there's something 4 might be even more. I don't think there's something super young in there, but if it is, it's not the main, I would say, the main component. I think it's a nice compromise between 4 and 8, or 4 and 10 even. 10 I'm not sure, because there's so much demand on KILCHOMAN that even if they have some 10 and 12 years old, will be a very small batch. I'm not sure they will put that in there. By the way, price wise, I got this on launch discount price at 39.90 cents, for 39 euros 90 cents. The replacement bottle I got this week, I found it at 43 euros. This is total bargain, let me tell you. At the big supermarket, we call it hypermarket, Centre Leclerc to be precise for the French audience. This one is batch 20/188, and this one has been bottled on the 10th of December 2020. Right, and the replacement one is a 2021. Right, what else can I say? It's American oak and European oak. My guess is that there's some first fill bourbon in there, and the rest refill bourbon, and there's only, in my opinion, it's not a fact, it's an opinion, mind you, as we know, there's European oak. I guess there is some refill sherry in there, but tiny amount. Okay, I'm gonna now add a few drops to this, and then I will present you the other bottles. So, hope not be too long again. Gets creamy. There's some really charm, something really, it's not mouth coating, it's just gently getting into your palate and even coming back to the nose to give you some nicely floral fruity combo. Beautiful cask selection, I have to say once again. This is gorgeous, getting gorgeous. Right. Now I'm gonna present you the other whiskies, and then we're gonna try the 3 recipes that I'm gonna give away for you. Right, this is almost all whiskies I have reviewed individually or collectively, I think. Okay, so this one now is a Ben Nevis 10 years old, the official one. It's not the most recent label design. It has been rebranded recently. The recipe has changed a lot. This one is batch L18/8069. It's 10 years old, but based on some information of trusty whiskey bloggers as important and reliable as Whiskey Notes Ruben in Belgium, and others say there's probably for discontinuity reasons, because they struggle to have other references, and they only have two or three references, I think. They had to use the stock they have, and those people say there is a lot of 18 years old in there. Now, while I'm not sure about it, I can tell you it feels way more than the 10 years old on the palate. So they're probably right. Now, can you use a most recent batch instead? Most probably. I cannot be sure 100%. But I have to say this one is very complex. And while the KILCHOMAN is the key malt, the basis, this one is the one which gives the structure. Voila, voila, as we say in French. This is malted, floral, oaky. He has some tiny acidic fruit notes, citrus fruit. He has some crushed nuts, some dates, raisins. Yeah, it's bourbon and cherry. Mostly refill for both. What did I lots of things. Yeah, very malty. There's some milk chocolate, some dried raisins, there's some sweet spices, there's some green elements, mushrooms, leather, there's some black tea, so it's quite rich, overall malty and chocolatey and a bit oaky, gently oaky and superior quality oak malt. So this is something that will give you the structure. By the way, the KILCHOMAN, forgot to tell you, I rated it last time during these sessions. I rated it now 90.5 out of 100. Well, at the beginning was 86.5, so you see there's some progress. This Ben Nevis 10 is rated 91.5. I'm going to show you now the third one, and in the first recipe, I mean the A version, I did use only those three malts. Let me put down that on the back. So yeah, I used those samples as well. You can find online. These are professional samples. These ones are ex-Campus Box ones. When I went there, they were filled with special stuff for me to homework, like he said. It was 2007, so I kept only one with the hand sign bottle, and the other ones I had to use them for different things. So I just kept one as a souvenir. There you go. Third malt, and I apologize because this is discontinued, where you can still find it on the market, and not only secondary market. Some dusty shelves, but not too dusty. It has been withdrawn from the core range in 2021, I think. We had Michael Henry, Master Blender, in the chat of Roy Aquavite, and also in Mark Gillespie's, I think, live, if I'm not mistaken. And during those different sessions live in the chat, I asked about this one, and Michael told us that unfortunately, in his opinion, the Madeira would finish while it's bourbon matured, and it's just a finish, for him was overpowering the rest, and then gave really not exactly what he wanted to showcase the distillery house style. So the profile of this was too excessive for him. Well, I like it a lot, and okay, there is less pure Loch Lomond style, if there is one in it, but I think this was really a great reference. So I regret this withdrawal. Let me put those two sheets on the sides so it's not a too big mess. INCHMURRIN Madeira wood finish. This one was bottled on the 19th of September 2017. Of course, it's a Loch Lomond, forgot to mention, in the Island collection range. This one was a bit pricey in France, 73 euros, while I know in Germany you can have it for 55 or so. It's a shame, so much expensive here. What else can I say? It is non-chill filtered. It has probably some caramel color. It's 46. I get some menthol note. I get some slight sourness at the beginning, but then a lot of green elements, verbena, maybe some geranium, but on the palate it's some rich apples, citrus fruit, some honey, and some sweet spices, and typically Madeira influence, which is hard to describe. Last but not least, and which I used only for B, which is destroyed and recycled in C recipe, and for C and D I use this fantastic as well, and it's getting low. Single malt, they're all Scottish. They're first one was Islay, the two next ones were Highlands malt, and this is the only Speyside in the recipe. Very special Speyside, obviously. This one is batch 12/880. You'll have all the details in the description. This was bottled in 19th of October of 2012. This is a great batch. So I have a backup bottle, but I'm not sure now it's the same batch, and I cannot verify here. This on the palate has a typically menthol, even almost melon fruit note, which is very fruity. There has some Haiti flowers as well, so there's melon, there's dried fruits, very subtle sherry, chocolatey as well, but different from the Ben Nevis. It's more on the fruity side. I'm not gonna retry it now, but ooh. Yeah, so it's rich and a very singular sherry. And this one is rated 90, but it could go, I think, more over that. Let me write down E, C, and D, which I forgot my sheet. Okay, so we're gonna try now the first recipe. The first recipe comprises only I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. It comprises only the KILCHOMAN, the Ben Nevis, and the INCHMURRIN. Proportions, get to your pens, are 60% KILCHOMAN, and these 10% Ben Nevis and 30% INCHMURRIN. I had to correct it then after I had to finally get to 53% KILCHOMAN, 23 point, yeah, I think it's this, 0.5, 0.3, no, 23%, sorry, Ben Nevis, and 24% INCHMURRIN. Right. So where it is there. Can see. So this one I called it soft and I cannot even read myself, I'm sorry. My God. Shit. I gave it a name, but now I cannot read it. I apologize. I gave it a nickname, but something saying, yeah, and soft and something like maritime. Yeah, and something maritime. Soft and maritime. Okay. This is the smoothest of the three on nose. Very linear, very balanced, a bit too much. That's why I continued the work. But sometimes it's an interesting option, so I keep some souvenirs sample of this, but I move on to have something with more character, which I like. I like to keep balance, but I like to have a lot of character on the palate. Well, okay. You can still feel the Kilchoman, but what is beautiful is that you also can understand there's a Madeira finish component in there, and there's a backbone of rich malty, half sherried, half bourbon malt, which is a NEVIS influence. So the structured, the anchor that is NEVIS worked very well. And I give you a wee secret. Normally I would use Springbank, but I didn't want to have too much peat. Instead, as a structural malt. Okay, another sip and I will dilute it a bit. Yeah, there's even some chocolatey, a bit of coffee in there. Or maybe I will dilute them at the end. We'll see how it goes. Where's the coin? There. A bit of water. Yeah, not the also what you, when you prepare something, how many you're not obliged to assess everything on the palate. You can work by the nose, and if you have doubts, then you go to the palate. That's how also you limit your alcohol consumption, because it's important. Now I should have done this with the first one, right? That would have been this and this. So you see, this one is darker. Why? Because there's some EDRADOUR in it. So it's the first that I kept. Well, it was the B recipe, but it's the first what I kept, where you have KILCHOMAN LOCH GRUINART, NEVIS 10, INCHMURRIN MADEIRA wood finish, and EDRADOUR 12 years old Caledonia. And what I forgot to mention, but I'm sure you all know about it, but for people who don't know it, the EDRADOUR 12 years old is, in fact, this expression is the Dougie MacLean Caledonia selection. This guy, who is a famous singer in Scotland, and there's also the song is there. It's a tribute to him, in fact. You can see natural color and chill filtered. Right. Enough of it. It's gonna be a long video again. What can I say? The recipe of this now. For the KILCHOMAN, I find after 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts, I finally stopped with. I will give you centiliters this time. It's easier for me. Even if it makes more than 10, you can multiply it to do a bigger sample or bottle as you wish. So 6 centiliters for the KILCHOMAN, 4.5 for NEVIS, 3 for the INCHMURRIN, and 2.5 for EDRADOUR. I had to be very careful with the EDRADOUR influence because it's very strong whiskey in terms of flavor, expressivity, and it can mark your blended malt too much, maybe for some view and erase a bit the Kilchoman charm, which was the basis, let's recall, of this whiskey. Right, now on the nose. There's some leafy side that was not there so much, and last time I double checked it, 27 of May. But there's quite some balance. It's a lot. There's more content of something else than Kilchoman, but it's the only one which is peated, except very low peat, I think, in Ben Nevis. Let's try it on the palate. Slangeva. The A sample has some charm. But it's true, in this one there's something extra. Now, will I add finally more Kilchoman? It's possible. For maybe a C2 version. So you never end these kind of things, right? As long as you have whiskey. I might rework the recipe with a bit more of Kilchoman, I think. Maybe an adjustment. Right, so this was C. Let's go now to the D recipe, which showcases Marchier Bay instead of the LOCH GRUINART. Now, I have to warn you that this is an old bottle from 2012, and I apologize, this is not a standard Marchier Bay. I'm sorry about that. So the experience might not be totally, but I have no idea if contemporary batches are as good. This one was a bit weak for me, too young. It was the time they were using more 3 and 4 years old than 5, 6 or 7. So I added 2 samples, okay, only 1 centiliter or so of 3 different expressions. There was 2 small batches and 1 single cask. 1 5 years old at 58.7, 1 10 years old anniversary 2015 at 58.2, and the Land Rover Tour 2018 at 59.8. So yeah, there's a wee bit of influence of something stronger than the 46, I have to admit. But I thought you could find this more easily than the LOCH GRUINART. Okay, so let's try this, and again you can see it's still relatively clear. It's a yellow gold, slight amber hues. Okay, let's keep that. The proportions there are 5 centiliters from the Marchier Bay, 2 centiliters from the INCHMURRIN, 1 only from the Ben Nevis, and 2 from EDRADOUR. So we'll give a different result. Well, that works better than I thought at first try and control day. Everything has now melted. Of course, in theory, you should wait 1 week at least when you do something like that. I have to admit, I rushed it a bit for the experience and for sharing the thing with the enthusiasm of the 3rd anniversary. I'm sorry about that. But it's also, to give you some ideas if you want to work on your side with those, play with those malts and others. This is gorgeous. On the nose you have everything, the Kilchoman, You have a bit more dry smoke than with the other, and you have the beauty, the roundness, nuttiness, I forgot to mention it, of the INCHMURRIN, which comes from the Madeira, and you have this beautiful, partly oxidative and quite fruity, exuberant EDRADOUR. So it's a nice combination, I believe. On the nose, there's some beautiful floral elements as well, and nice maritime. I'm gonna do a reverse thing. No, not a reverse, because I'm gonna put a bit of water in each. But to be fair with the first sample, which is less rich than this one, I'm gonna try start by the first one. And give the same amount to each. Well, this one might be it's millimetric, more ABV, but honestly, for 3.5 more centiliters up on out of 60 cl, it was when I did that. It's not much more ABV you have to expect. Oh yeah, forgot to say, if you don't have the KILCHOMAN as well, or we don't want to spend too much for, I don't know, might be the same price now. If you can find this Kulila Moch, which is a noise statement, but has some older content in it, at least for the first batches, you can use this instead of the KILCHOMAN, right? Because it's a gentle way of working. Let's put that down. We don't need it now. Okay. So I'm trying now the A recipe with a bit of water. This one also is special. A bit frustrating on the powerful side, a bit linear and getting a bit down, but it has something special, I believe. Might be wrong, and I might mix the three to finish. Anyway, it was fun. I hope it was fun to watch for you as well. And also, I'm pushing you to try it yourself and give me some feedback. Maybe we'll swapping with another malt among the four. I don't know. Everybody's free. I definitely get some coffee in there, and I love that. Oh yeah, it's getting better. So this one, as recall, it's the C. So it's the one with KILCHOMAN, Ben Nevis, INCHMURRIN, Madeira, and EDRADOUR. And it's the one which has slightly more other components than the KILCHOMAN. First KILCHOMAN 6% and 4.5 for Ben Nevis, and the others are less. Right, this is gorgeous. Now, the one that has the mark Kirbe instead of the LOCH GRUINART with water. It works well too. Now, I know it's a bit heretic, and also because I don't let it time to breathe, but there's too few to really do something very honest, scientific. Sorry, it's just for fun. And let me write down here, c'est 2 bis, add more KILCHOMAN. Voila, so you have it all. So this is a mix of all three recipes, but there's also a bit of water in it. And with that, I will tell you, have a nice day and hope everything is fine for you. And please let me know what you think of this experiment and what are your thoughts. If you wish to, of course, when you try to replicate this or do something of your own inspired by this, which is the most important thing. The idea is to inspire you to blend your malts as well. Maybe the best of all, I don't know. It is nice. It's linear as well, a bit too much, but I like it. Anyway, the KILCHOMAN is a beautiful distillery. That's the final word I will say. So it was fun playing with them. Thank you for watching. I hope it was interesting, and let me know your thoughts. And anyway, this will come as a premiere, so you will have a lot of time also to experiment before this goes live. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you.